Thank you. Before we jump into anyone having questions, I'll open it up to the panelists. If there's anything that anyone wants to add real quick or say, feel free.
Just one quick thing I forgot to mention. Ernest, you brought it up right at the end of my section, but we have a sign that you guys can print out and put up when you're doing your ambassadorship that says, "Hey, I'm a wildlife trail ambassador, but please stay 6 feet away from me." It's just like another little safety measure to keep you guys safe while you're out there. So we'll make sure to send that along in your packet if you're interested, and so you can utilize that tool.
Thanks, Scott. Anyone else? All right. I don't see any more questions in the chat box. There was two attendees that had their hand raised. So Nicole Hayden, I believe is how it said. I'm going to allow you to talk if you're still there. And if you have a question, go ahead.
Sorry, no, that was when you couldn't hear the thing I waved that I couldn't hear. Sorry.
No problem. Thanks, Nicole. Thanks for being on. The other person, Nancy, I saw you had a hand raised. Let's see if it's the same thing.
Oh, no, I think that was just where we couldn't get the audio for the video.
Apologies. Well, if that's it, I don't see any other questions coming in right now. If you have any...
Ernest, it looked like Martha had some questions related to big game season dates and some concerns there that I'm happy to answer if she's still on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so what she's referencing, just so everybody's on the same page, that big game season extension to January 15th, that pertains to what anecdotally is called the late season cow hunt. That particular hunt, so when these dates are set, they're pretty much universal across the state. And then we manage things locally. So while those season dates do exist for hunts, that hunt either is non-existent in our local area in most of Eagle County, or so south of the interstate, that hunt doesn't exist, period. North of the interstate, it is extremely limited. So single digit tag allocation for hunters for that late season for cow hunts that goes to January 15th. A lot of this is just managing game damage associated with ranch lands and some other conflict issues. Given the trends of overall herd numbers, I wouldn't be surprised if those numbers are either dropped to zero or hunt codes are eliminated, period. And then to your concerns about some of these multi-use concurrent uses, I encourage everybody to so you say cow means deer, not elk. So cow refers to a female elk. A doe would be a female deer. So really those being the kind of reproductive bases of these populations, they're extremely limited in nature and the opportunities to actually hunt, both that sex and species. So going back to some of the safety considerations, kind of a know before you go type scenario where I try to impress upon people to take a look, whether it's during, trail openings and the seasons where you can access all these areas. I think it really behooves the trail user to know what's happening. So, everybody's got a right to be out there, and, a lot of these people, they're legal tag holders for a hunting season, and they're another user group that we have to provide for. So I suggest people take a look at those season dates. They're readily available on CPW's website, and if you elect to recreate during the couple select months of year when hunting occurs, I would impress upon you to wear some bright colors, namely hunter orange or blaze orange.
Thanks, Devin. I was going to add a quick point from the Forest Service's perspective with travel management. where those, just like Devin explained, those additional seasons come from the state level. Each forest and working within the districts, we set a season of dates, these wildlife season dates, as well as our travel management dates for both motorized and mechanized, meaning mountain bikes. And those are set. We work really closely with CPW to get the information to hunters so that they understand where they may have a tag for a particular animal to harvest in a particular unit. That does not equate to motorized access, or even in say in the Evercrest Trail. I know that's south of I-70, but I'm just going to use it as a winter example. That trail's closed per other reasons, and so it falls to the hunter to be educated and informed of where are the open areas and what is their access to exercise the right that tag gives them. It doesn't say they get motorized access and we're going to open all the gates on the north side of I-70, like up Berry and June Creek. So I just wanted to clarify that. But we work in close concert to get the information out there.
I had one comment. Dave Weinman, if you're still here, actually I see that you're still here. You had asked me about the Eagle River Preserve. We are moving forward with that area. It's something we kind of just threw on today. Peter's still on the call here if you had any questions for him, but yes, we will be implementing a volunteer opportunity there this season. So I would love it if you get involved, and if you have any questions, just let me know.
Awesome. I know I saw John typed in a question here for Alan, and Alan is chatting with him on answering that specific one. I think I saw one more here from Linda Mossman, and Devin, it may be one for you, asking about the elk population to be at lower elevations this year because of lack of vegetation and drought.
I think it's a mixed bag. All these things are what we as biologists would consider stochastic variables. So that means that they change year over year, season to season. And I've seen the opposite given the lack of snowfall. Usually it's average overnight temperatures and the amount of snow on the ground that forces elk to lower elevations onto their winter range. I think habitat selection in the last 18 months has just been kind of upended, and certainly my understanding, if not a whole variety of biologists' understanding of habitat use has changed, given namely the human interaction on the landscape, and just how hard pressed these animals are to find some seclusion and a little bit of refuge from just the sheer human footprint on the landscape. So I would largely expect, if the winter continues to be what it is, I say this with a grain of salt, that milder winters tend to be more beneficial for wildlife. So if we're not seeing the snow levels pushing them down to lower elevations, that means that there is more available landscape that's available to them throughout the course of the winter. So it's kind of a double-edged sword too, because that translates to water in the ecosystem as well. So hopefully that answers the question.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I think with that, there's nothing else popping up. We'll wrap this up. Again, thank you all.
One last thing, sorry. If you're interested in the awards, we kind of have it running through the winter. So starting immediately through the end of June. So as of July 1st, we'll kind of cut that off. So if you wanted to get one of those 5-day awards, 10-day awards, try to get your days in before the end of next June. That's it. Thank you guys for being here.
All right, thank you. Again, if you signed up for this webinar, this is recorded. We will send this out. It'll be live. We have a YouTube channel that we link from bvmta.org. We'll also send out the welcome packet to everyone that signed up. And if you have any questions at all, anytime, just send Michelle or myself an email, reach out through our website, contact the Forest Service. Any of us here, all the panelists, we're here to answer all your questions and help you help us and get out there and help protect the wildlife. So thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.